Hey, Derek Snow with No Dog Left Behind coming at you. I am in sunny Saskatoon right now, sitting beside the river and a bridge. You can take a glimpse for yourself. Enjoying this beautiful day. But anyway, I am basically going to offer you some great information today about ensuring you leave your dog, whether you're going on a trip or if your dog is going to go to some doggy daycare or you hired someone to board and train your dog, that you make sure you ask the right questions before you ever leave your dog alone with someone you don't know. The reason why, what prompted this video, podcast type of thing, was that I came across some information about a lady who had left her dogs at a boarding and training facility, and basically when she picked them up, to summarize, they were in pretty poor condition as far as apathetic, and they didn't even get excited to see her. And then she realized that they were suffered some trauma, basically, I guess you could summarize, because they actually had physical damage around their necks due to a shock collar, as I was told. Which, number one, this isn't a debate on whether you're pro or against shock collars. This is just a fact of the matter that the dogs all had physical damage to their neck from the collar. Okay, and they were just not visually normal or well behaved or anything. They were just like distant and not present, but they were there, right? Anyways, the point is that unfortunately the lady didn't maybe ask some of the questions that she should have, and just didn't know that, some things were a possibility. So the lady was obviously pretty upset when she picked up her dogs and realized what kind of treatment they had been through for the last month or two. And because she didn't ask how the facility was going to get the results that they had negotiated and that she was paying for, it was a surprise to her at the end when she realized that how the dogs were being, trained. So then she was just really disgusted after with the condition of them, as well as with the fact of how they were trying to train the dogs, unsuccessfully, mind you. But it could have totally been avoided if, unfortunately, she would have asked some different questions about, some training philosophy, and it was just an oversight, and unfortunately she really paid for it, and the dogs did too. So I'm trying to tell you that if you make the effort to ensure that your philosophy on dog handling is similar to the facility, whether it be a doggy daycare or a board and train facility or a straight up kenneling facility, that the staff there fundamentally have a similar philosophy on dog handling as you're going to save yourself a lot of headache as well as your dog. Now, once again, there's different philosophies and methods of training dogs, and that's not what this is about. This recording is really about just making sure that you're on the same page as people that are handling your dog. So if you are more of a gentle training individual and you want your dog to be handled, with a gentle hand, so to speak, well then make sure that wherever you're leaving your dog with, they have the same philosophy. If you're okay with, prong collars and dominance theory stuff and, the e-collar, shock collar thing, that's your prerogative and that's fair. And, it wouldn't be a big deal if they used something like that on your dog in your absence. But you need to know, not after. Because if a facility endorses certain training methods that you don't necessarily subscribe to, you're going to want to make sure your dog doesn't, either number one, you tell them that you don't want your dog handled in any specific way, as far as the dog's not here for training, I just want it to be boarded, or you make sure that the dog is boarded or is in a daycare or in a kenneling facility somewhere else that has a similar philosophy of how to handle dogs as you, so you don't go there, pick that dog up, or see a picture on Facebook where your dog's running around playing with a shock collar on. You're like, why is the dog on that kind of collar? Because this stuff happens. Just because you don't hear about it, I hear about it a lot more because people tell me stuff, okay? So just be mindful that you want to make sure you know how people are going to handle your dog before you ever leave them alone with them. So make sure you ask some questions about their training philosophy or their handling philosophy or what they believe in, and that will give you some insight of whether or not you want to actually leave your dog with them. And just because someone will take your dog doesn't mean that it's necessarily the right spot for them. So don't make the same mistake, because unfortunately can't rewind it. Okay, so you guys enjoy the rest of your day or week or wherever you are at when you see this video, and I will enjoy the rest of my day. Till next time.